All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. I'm playing a little game with the boys. I got two quarterback stats right here for you. I'm going to let them tell me which quarterback they would pick or which one that they would want, and we'll maybe have a little bit of Hall of Fame conversations for these guys. So just going down the line, obviously you see I got passing yards, passing touchdowns, interception, their record. Obviously that's a little bit about their team more than it is about them. Rushing yards, rushing touchdowns, Pro Bowls, and Super Bowl rings through their 13th year in the NFL.
Okay.
I'm going to slide this a little more centrally, y'all.
So that would put us in the 2009 draft.
I'm not asking you to pick guess who these quarterbacks are. I'm just saying which one would you take between these two?
Oh.
And then I'll tell you who they are.
I think I know who quarterback 2 is.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. You're looking.
Because this is going to surprise you because there's been a lot of conversations about whether this guy is going to go to the Hall of Fame, and this other guy is someone that everybody says no to.
No, I think I know who both of them are though.
I think I've got it too. I think I know who both of them are. Off these stats given alone, I'm going with quarterback number 2.
Okay.
Because as a true quarterback, that is 60 less interceptions.
Yeah.
He's got way more rushing yards, but way less rushing touchdowns, which is kind of surprising. Passing yards, I mean, that's barely any difference there. I mean, that's...
You're talking less than
Yeah.
2,000 yards.
Yeah. It seems like QB2's just kind of been surrounded by a shitty team. But his greatness has kind of been peeking through.
Okay. That's debatable, but yeah.
4 Pro Bowls, huh? So somebody out there has thought this guy was worthy of it.
Yeah.
Thinking, I don't know how long he's been in the. I don't think.
Both of them have been in the league 13 years.
Actually, I said, but the guy I was thinking of, I don't think actually has 2 Super Bowl rings.
The guy I was thinking of, I don't think has 54 rushing yards, so I'm probably wrong on that one too.
54 rushing
Or
touchdowns.
touchdowns.
That's what's throwing me is.
I'm pretty sure I know who QB1 is. QB2 stole me for a spin right now. I
don't know.
I think I know who QB2 is.
I think I'm willing to take QB1 over QB2. I'm willing to live with the 61 interceptions.
You're willing for that gunslinger mentality?
Not only that, but people have thought in his career, in his 13 years, somebody said he's worthy enough to be the best of the best 4 different times.
Yeah.
And he's got 2 rings to prove it. So he's not very mobile, clearly.
Yeah.
But he's looking at the QB sneaks from the 2 yard, inside the 2 yard line for 54 touchdowns. So I'll take QB1. I'll take the 2,000 more yards with the 60 interceptions.
I'm trying to think of who these two guys are now. I'm
Plus,
completely throwing it out.
he's got a slightly better record. So maybe he is surrounded a little bit more talent. But
I know I'm going to regret saying number 1 just because you're going to tell me it's like friggin' Baker Mayfield or something. But
he
doesn't have 2 rings, I know. But I'm just saying.
Boy hadn't been in the league 13 years.
Yeah, no, I know. But
It might actually surprise you who QB1 is.
I like the gunslinger mentality.
Very popular name for QB1.
See, I was thinking Brett Favre, but Favre doesn't have 2 rings.
I mean, they both have to be pretty popular to have almost 50.
Favre
Oh,
only
yeah, he did only have one.
Favre only has 1 ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Favre's only got one.
96
Um,
or
to
97.
be, at,
97,
to be at 51,000 and 49,000, these are 2 legitimate starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're big.
Yeah.
They're big.
But yeah, they're
guys.
both very popular names.
Both guys were drafted in the top 5 picks and were starters immediately. There's no skip in the seasons. Both of them played all 13 seasons.
Oh, but this isn't from like 2009 till the end of this year.
No, this is just 13 seasons
okay.
in general.
No.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna have to go QB1 too because I like the gunslinger mentality. I like going out there slinging the ball around, and putting the game on himself versus letting the other people go out there and mess it up. Because I'm gonna take control. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go QB1 too.
Okay. Anybody want to take guesses? So we got QB1, QB2, QB1, right?
Yeah.
All right. Anybody want to take guesses who on QB1?
QB1, immediately I'm saying Eli Manning.
It is Eli.
That's who I was thinking too. But I didn't think he had 54 friggin' rushing touchdowns.
QB sneaks, bro.
Yeah.
I know, but I didn't think he had 54.
Eli Manning.
But I would say Eli Manning and I was saying Stafford
It is. It's Eli Manning and Matthew Stafford. So the conversation the last 48 hours has been: is Matthew Stafford going to the Hall of Fame now?
He now, I think,
I mean,
he's got the numbers to prove it. But Pro Bowl wise, I think he deserved to be in more Pro Bowls than he was.
isn't it amazing? I mean,
That's just because he was in Detroit. That's the handicap.
See, that's what Chris threw me off was I said about QB2. I was like, it looks to me that this guy was a legitimate quarterback. He was just surrounded by shitty talent on a shitty team. And Keith immediately goes, that's debatable. It was the fucking Lions.
He had Calvin Johnson for 7. He had the literal.
He did not have him for
best
7
receiver.
years.
Yes, he did.
He had him for a long time.
It was not
Yes,
for
he
7
did.
years.
He was without Calvin Johnson for 3 years. He was without Calvin Johnson for literally 3 years before getting
Okay,
traded.
but you're also talking about old ass Calvin Johnson.
Sure, he was 30. What was Calvin? 31 when he retired.
Yeah,
was
I mean,
young.
you
I mean,
had
he was
to-
like 30.
Calvin wasn't
Yeah.
even that old.
You
Calvin
have-
was past his
He
prime.
had the literal greatest receiver in the NFL.
Okay, but you're going to tell me that Calvin Johnson makes the Detroit Lions a good team.
Makes him better than what he was when they left.
It sure made Matthew Stafford a not that great.
I think you were one of the only people out there that would say that Matthew Stafford was not surrounded by a shitty team just because he had Calvin
He
Johnson.
was surrounded by a shitty offensive line. He had some decent running backs, and his defense has been horrific since he got there. Sure, but he had the literal best receiver in the NFL for. I'll give you 6 years that Calvin Johnson was only the best receiver in the NFL.
But when you only have one threat on the field, what are defenses going to do with that threat?
I don't know. Aaron Rodgers has been winning 12 games for the last 4 seasons with only Devontae Adams.
And he's now tied with Stafford for Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
That's my point proven.
But
But he
Calvin,
got 4 MVPs though.
yeah.
And Matthews has none. He doesn't even have a Super Bowl
Matthew
MVP.
Stafford had no support.
He had very little support. Yeah, he had very little support.
if
You're
you're
dead wrong if you think one Hall of Fame receiver makes up for a whole shitty team.
I'm not asking the guy to win 200 games. I'm just saying, don't act like Calvin Johnson is what now Jared Goff's been put in.
They're a shitty.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Calvin Johnson does not offset the shitty Detroit Lions.
It makes
Horrible
but you can't say that-
coaching, horrible defense, horrible offensive line, barely any support from running back. You have one threat on the field that the defense is going to automatically double or triple coverage.
I'll give Detroit this. When they had Jim Caldwell, they actually had pretty decent years. Jim Caldwell actually coached them
That's why
fairly
Matthew
well.
Stafford has wins on the
But
record.
correct, because Caldwell helped them get that, and then they fired Caldwell after having a winning season.
Yeah, I know.
And then you bring in Matt Patricia, who has 3 losing seasons.
Dear God, that was the worst decision. anyways.
So yeah,
I don't know. Stafford has a potential.
I think
is
Right,
is-
that's
is-
right now. Neither one of these quarterbacks should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree.
neither one should be in.
Neither
I agree.
one.
Yeah. I mean,
Stafford's not going to get in based off that record. Doesn't matter what team he was on, that record's not going to get him in. He's got a losing record.
He's
But
got
I mean-
he's got less passing yards, less touchdowns. The only thing he really beats
Well,
him on
he's gonna
is
surpass-
rushing yards and interceptions.
He's going to surpass Eli Manning because Eli Manning's gone.
Yeah, if he comes back next year, which all signs says he is. There's no
Yeah.
real sign of him retiring.
Stafford's going to play at least another 2 or 3 years, in my opinion.
So, I
So
mean, you'll see him
he's
pushing.
easily going to surpass the rest. He might get to a winning record, which he probably will get to. But he's only 11 games out of a winning
so
record.
yeah, 3 more seasons with the current Rams.
Yeah. So I mean,
So say he gets 3 more years and he's pushing nearly 4,000 yards a season. I mean, you're looking at nearly 60,000 yards.
he puts another ring on, then I could make the
I
argument.
don't think he's got a chance to another Super Bowl. The Rams are losing way too much, and they're going to be capped out now.
Well,
But
they will be capped,
Everybody's going to be silent,
But
wanting
now-
more
but
money
now-
now that they're a Super Bowl champion.
But now he'll come in at the end of next year with a winning record, overall winning
Yeah.
record.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Probably.
Yeah.
they're going to win games.
He'll have another 300 rushing yards. I mean, his numbers are only going to improve compared to.
Eli's not going to go anywhere.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, listen, I've been somebody that has gone on record saying I don't think Eli Manning should be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, he won 2 Super Bowls. Yeah, these Pro Bowl seasons that he had were very good seasons. But then you mix it, like literally, he would go to the Pro Bowl. The very next year, he'd throw 25 interceptions.
Yeah.
And then he'd go to the Pro Bowl, and then he'd throw 22 interceptions. Right. And so like.
So it's just very
I'm
inconsistent.
I'm with that. I'm astonished that Matthew Stafford, with some of these 4,000-yard seasons and light 30 touchdowns that he had, most of them, of course, going to Calvin Johnson,
Have not
literally
made
did
more.
not make more than 1 Pro Bowl. Like, that astonishes me because Matthew Stafford has been
It's because he was in Detroit.
he's been a top 4 quarterback in his conference
Stats wise, yeah.
for many of these years. But again, you get a little bit of, like Alex said, there's a little bit of negative light on Detroit.
Yeah.
And everybody looks
A
at
little
it.
bit.
Yeah. And then you get everybody going, well, it's only Calvin Johnson, right? I mean, it's Calvin
But
Johnson.
no, it's not this that it's only Calvin Johnson. It's the fact of I'm saying, hey, I got a very good quarterback, and I got a very good receiver, and now I'm expecting those 2 players to offset the other 20 players.
Looking at this record number, he still won't get to a positive number next year unless his team literally goes 13-4, and then he could be 99-1. But I mean, again, like we
That's
said,
what I mean.
think-
There's a chance he can go positive for next year.
I mean, if they go 14-2, yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much the only way you can do it.
14-3.
Yeah, 14-3. So,
But if not, I mean, like you said though, if year 2, then after this year,
yeah.
you'll see him with a 100+ wins. Granted, he'll probably be sitting around that 105 losses, somewhere in there. He'll probably have 10 losses over the next 2
When
years.
he's done with the Rams, I mean, he really could play. He could play 4 years, get to 37. I mean, so he's got a chance to really improve on that. He'll pass Eli, obviously, in the yards. He'll pass Eli in the touchdowns. Probably shouldn't pass Eli in the interceptions, but he did throw 17 this year. Yeah, I was astonished that Eli had 54 rushing touchdowns.
Well, that was one thing that threw me on that. When I saw 4 Pro Bowls and 2 Super Bowl rings, I thought that was Eli, and then I was like, well, how the fuck did Eli get 54
Because he's
friggin' rushing touchdowns?
6'3",
6'5".
Okay.
Yeah.
You got
Yeah,
down
but
to
he's
one-
Eli Manning.
You got down to the 1 yard line. All you had to do was ask him to lean forward.
All right, well, that was a fun game of picking which quarterback. Let us know in the comments which one you would have picked, and then also tell us if you think Matthew Stafford or Eli Manning should make the Hall of Fame.